Hey guys, it's Daisuke. I have to redo this stupid video because my camera decided it was going to stop recording halfway through the last one. So let's start this over. I am going to do a brief little tutorial on how to play the Fire Emblem TCG known as Fire Emblem Cipher, which logo is up here. You want to can't even talk this time around. What the hell? Okay, so there's different areas on the play mat for the play area. There's the battlefield, which is separated into the front row and the back row, the vanguard and the rear guard. Over here, covered by these 5 cards, is the orb area, which is essentially your damage, or at the reverse of your prize cards if you play Pokemon. Down here is your bond area, which is essentially your mana. If you play Magic, I don't know why that was so difficult. Over here, discard pile. I just have these set aside so you can see the spot. The deck, and then the support area is up here. There are essentially four different types of cards. Kind of 5, I guess. Well, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Kind of. I just can't words today. There are 4 different types of range of cards. Because on said cards, you have the cost. This black box here is the flavor text, which is a quote that this character has said. Your skills, support skills, which are in a darker box with either 2 swords or a shield. I will get into that in a little bit. And then you have your power, range, what type of unit this is, your support, and the name of the card. This is Marth, in case you didn't realize it. So this Marth has a range of 1. This character, which is Gordon, has a range of 2. If he can hit, Marth can hit the row directly in front of him. So pretend there's another mat. He could hit whatever cards are directly opposite him. Whereas Gordon has to be two rows away from whatever target he is going after. So this Gordon could attack this Gordon, and vice versa. But this Gordon could not attack Gordon if he was in the back row, because he doesn't have the range. Can't even pick up my card now. That's great. There we go. Okay. So, strategy is key when playing only 2 range units. Merrick here has a range of 1 to 2. If it would ever focus, which it won't, whatever, trust me, it says 1 to 2. Which means if he was in the back, he could still hit in front, but if he was in front, he could hit their front row or their back row, which makes Magic users very versatile. And then there are healers which have no range at all. It does not want to there we go, no range at all. Because you can't, apparently you can't hit people with a staff. And then there are these types of cards which have 2 different types of costs, which is too shiny for this camera to focus on. The top number is the regular promotion cost, while the bottom number is not promotion cost, is the deployment cost, while the bottom is the promotion cost. So if I had this Marth in play, I could promote that Marth for 3 bonds instead of 4. But if I didn't have Marth in play, in order to play this Marth, I would have to have 4 bonds down here to play him. However, there's an advantage to promoting. whenever you promote a unit, you get to draw a card from your deck. So that's helpful. You might be wondering what this card is. This card essentially lets you designate which card is your hero, and it goes underneath whatever your main hero is, like that, essentially. Now, the orb area, whenever your main character, whoever has this card underneath it, gets attacked and takes damage, in order to take damage, you have whatever. I'll get into that in a minute. I can't think properly. I apologize, people. But whenever you would take damage, you take one orb from the orb area and place it in your hand. Now, if you take all 5 orbs and you get damaged, you lose the game, because the orbs act as a shield to protect you, and if you don't have any orbs, then you can't be protected and you die. Attacking is... well, the battle phase is kind of tricky. Whenever you attack, you turn your unit sideways into the action phase, or as it's known in a lot of other games, you just tap the unit. Now, it's kind of like Vanguard. In the attacking unit, and the attacking side checks a card. So I checked this Navarre, and you add the smaller number over here to your larger number over here. So Navarre has a support of 10, and Marth has a power of 40, which you're supposed to put up in the support area up here. So you flip. Has a support of 10, so 40 is 50. So Marth has a strength of 50. And let's say he's against this Gordon again. So Gordon has a power of 30, so they would take an orb if Gordon was the main character. If not, Gordon would just simply go to the discard pile. If the support check made Gordon have a lower power. Now, to deal damage or defeat an enemy, the power of the attacking unit must be equal to or greater than the opponent's. If it is less than the opponent's, nothing happens. And after you support check, after both players have support checked, so for example, if I had this one in play instead, just because I have this ready, if Marth was attacking and I checked the Navarre, so that becomes an 80, if I have another Marth, I'm not entirely sure if it has to be the same card or not. I've been hearing different things, but you can the attacking unit can the attacking player can discard the same character to double the power for that battle. So instead of being an 80, Marth would become a 160 power, and the enemy. So the enemy Gordon, they could discard a Gordon to completely negate all damage and completely avoid the battle for the turn. So there's evasion and crits. Now during the battle phase, when you support check, I mentioned how some characters have support skills, like Gordon has. He has 2 swords, which means his support skill only activates when he's flipped for an attack. this Gordon in particular does adds an extra 20 power to the attacking unit. And Lena here has a defense support skill as I can't even think. As shown by the shield, and hers is that the opponent cannot perform a critical hit. That unit cannot perform a critical hit this turn. So, different support skills do different things. Like, not all sword, like double sword support skills are gonna do the same thing. I believe I have mentioned everything. I don't know. I kind of am scatterbrained right now, and I apologize for that. There are a couple more rules. If you deck out, which is when you have no cards left in your deck, and like they're all in your discard pile, you do not lose the game. Unlike in other card games, you simply shuffle your deck. Right, you shuffle your discard pile and use it as your deck. So there's no way to deck out and lose. These are the orbs. Okay, cool. So there's no way to deck out in this game. And the turn order is you draw a card. Let's draw the card. And untap any tapped units. Then you have the bond phase. So you are allowed to place one bond in your bond area per turn, unless you have a skill that says otherwise. So for this example, I'll just take the card that I drew and put it in my bond area. Now you may play any number of units whose cost adds up to less than or equal to, well, that's less than or equal to the number of bonds you have. So I have 4 bonds, so I could play 4 1-cost units, 2 2-cost units, 1 3-cost unit, and a 1-cost unit, and any other combination, as long as the number of units, the number of bonds that you are using up does not exceed 4. For this example. So I could play, if I didn't have the Marth in play, I could promote my Marth to draw a card, and I could still play, which uses up 3 bonds, so I have 1 left, and I could use that to play Lena, for example. Then you have the action phase, which is essentially like when you do attacks. So you move them to the action state. I apologize for the lighting. You move them to the action state to attack, or you could move the units, but that uses up their action for the turn. So when you move them, you can move them from the front or back row, and it can even be the hero, but that uses up their turn, so they can't do anything. So there's strategy in that, but it's not always the best option to do. I believe that's it for now. If I think of anything else, I'll add it to the description. I want to record some videos, especially of my friend Alex, because he has terrible luck with this game. But, and it'd be pretty funny to watch. But, like I said, if I missed anything, I'll add it to the description. Otherwise, this has been kind of a poor, I'll admit, tutorial on how to play Fire Emblem Cipher. It'll make more sense once I actually get gameplay videos. But for the time being... No! I know I forgot something. I apologize, everybody. I apologize. I completely forgot to talk about skills. There are a bunch of different types. I forgot, it's like 5 different types of activations. There are like action and automatic, and among others, that different types of skills. So, for example, look at Merrick. His skill says flip something, and it's indicating a sideways card, which is your bond. So you flip over 1 bond to activate his skill, and specifically his skill is for this turn, during the turn that you activate his skill, he gains the effect to do 30 extra damage to any units that have a flying affinity, such as Sheeta, who over here you can see, kind of, not really. There's kind of a wing. It's really hard to see, and I apologize. There, nope. And it does not want to focus. But there's a wing symbol there. So he would gain an extra 30 power when attacking this unit, for example. However, face down bond cards do not flip back over. They still count as you having that bond, but like you can't like flip it over again to use for a skill. It's essentially a dead bond. And when all of your bonds are face down, you can no longer play a unit until you play another bond face up. You cannot play, if you're, say for example, using a multicolor deck, so there's red and blue at the moment, which is Shadow Dragon and Awakening. If you only have a face-up red bond, you cannot play a blue unit, and vice versa. So there's that, which is kind of implemented, in my opinion, from my experience, from Weiss. And I find it adds a lot more strategy to the game, because now you can't just abuse having all of these bonds out, because you can have all 4 bonds that have been used up, but now you can't play anything because you've used them up. So it's a risk-reward to use skills. Like, for example, Lena here, her skill is you tap her, if it would ever focus, whatever. Her skill is, if you tap her and then flip over 2 bonds, you can add a character that's not called Lena from your discard pile to your hand. So there's some risk and reward. Like, you risk not being able to play units at the cost of you can get powerful effects. Or Marth, for example, does not require bonds to be flipped to use his effects. His first one says if you play any unit with a cost of 1 or less, 2 or less, my bad, then you can move any of your opponent's, you can move any one of your opponent's units. So if there's a unit in the back that's bugging you, or they have a healer back there and that they're using, you can bring it forward so that you can kill it. And the second skill is if he battles a unit with a dragon affinity, then he gains 20 power, boosting up to a 90. And I can't believe I forgot all about those, and I apologize. But now I'm pretty sure that everything has been covered. Again, if I do remember something after this video is finished, I'll put it in the description. Otherwise, this has been a kind of not so great video. This is, and I want you guys to know, this is all unscripted. So I'm trying to go off of memory here. So I apologize if it's not the best quality, but I mean, doing scripts is just not my thing. So I would rather just go off the top of my head and speak my mind and make myself look like a fucking idiot than to pretend to be smart and know everything that I'm talking about when I really don't. As you guys can plainly see, I don't always know what I'm talking about, though I do know this game fairly well because it has been out for almost a month now, and it's really fun. I hope that you guys will be able to enjoy this game like I do, and it will not be the only thing on the channel. It's just, this is cool, I enjoy it, and I hope you respect that. If it is not something that you want to watch, by all means, you don't have to watch it, but it would mean a lot to me if, and a lot of other Fire Emblem fans, if you would take the time to watch this video, to learn the game, see if it interests you. Yes, it's in Japanese, but Nintendo has said that they are gauging interest in the card game, not only in Japan, like they're waiting to see how sales do in Japan, but they're also trying to gauge interest in if Americans or people in the West are gonna buy this stuff. And I think it'd be really cool having more than just me and three of my friends actually, playing this game that I know of in my area. And it would be really cool if other people would be willing to import these cards, because they're fairly cheap unless you're going for singles. It'd be really cool just to play with other people. If you happen to have some cards and want to potentially play against me, hit me up. We can try to figure something out. Otherwise, hey, you never know. But this video has gone on for about 23 minutes now, so I think I'll call it a day. And yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Just in general, if you're hyped about Fire Emblem, if you are interested in the card game, just let me know in the comments. Or tell me if you like this kind of video. I don't know. Just don't say, oh, you suck because your video quality sucks. It's like, give me a break. I'm tired, I'm hungry, my hand is shaking, hella, and I'm doing this unscripted. So I'm trying to make a point to make this special for my viewers. So yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day, or have been having a good day, or whatever. This is Daisuke, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.